Look me in the eye and tell me honestly what kind of monster you see. An angry ghost, a mask. The symptoms of my disease, is that all that you think of me? But what about broken, scarred, betrayed, alone? What about the real me that I want you to know? I don't wanna be twisted. What's up, everybody? My name is Game Over, and welcome to my FNAF 6 theory. Now, why am I doing this now? It's because I can, and I'll do whatever I want to do, and I own the channel, and I'll do it my own way. No, but there is an actual reason why I'm doing this now. It's because I've been watching a lot of MatPat, and yeah, I've been watching a lot of game theory, mostly Austin and MatPat. And I kind of got inspired, and I have a plan to do another video. I just need to look up a whole bunch of math, because while I did not fail in math, I wasn't exactly the best at it, so I need to look up a little bit of math to do the video that I'm planning on doing. But when it comes out, I'm pretty much going to be ripping off MatPat, so sorry guys, but I'm going to be covering a question that you guys have not covered yet. So look forward to that. I'm going to be doing something that MatPat and all the game theorists people have not done yet. Well, they might have done it in some way, but not the way that I'm going to be doing it. But anyway, I'm going to be doing the FNAF 6 game theory. I'm just going to do... You know what? Let's just completely rip off game theory. Welcome to Game Theory, the show where I rip off the most... probably the most, the most famous, one of the most famous YouTube channels on the internet. Sorry, my brain is broken. But anyway, so as I was watching Game Theory, I remembered that I still need to do this episode, and I'm going to be covering all the secrets that I have found out for myself. Just because I've watched Game Theory does not mean that I've looked at any of the actual Five Nights at Freddy's game theories that MatPat does. I have not seen any of them. After this, I'm actually going to watch them all because I want to hear what he thinks. But I want all of my thoughts to be mine. I don't want to be shaped by what someone else thinks. I want to get what I think happened off the table. Then I want to see what other people thought actually happened. Because remember, a lot of people don't believe that the phone guy was Purple Guy. They still don't believe that, but I do because it makes so much sense. I said that was the Purple Guy, and everyone else, they did not believe, they refused to believe me in saying, no, the phone guy was Mike Schmidt. But it makes sense. It does. But yeah. So we are going to be jumping into FNAF 6. So, FNAF 6, I think it is set in Moscow. Now, the reason why I know that is because during my episodes, I actually got a lawsuit by accident. And in one of the lawsuits, it said where I was in the world. So, it's set in Moscow. So, hooray, we now know where we are. But there are so many secrets hidden in this. Scott Cawthon did not want to release everything. He wanted to get every secret out, but he did not put everything in the ending. So, first of all, I need to tell you guys what Section 8, Paragraph 4 is. So, what's in Section 8, Paragraph 4... if you actually look it up on the interweb, which I did, it actually comes up with what the section actually is, which I'm going to put in words so that I would be able to understand, because if someone said this to me, I would not be able to understand until they put it in dumbass language. So basically, in Section 8, Paragraph 4, they wanted all... Section B, Paragraph 4, they wanted all of the animatronics to be brought into the pizzeria and held there until a certain date, which was Saturday. Saturday was the day that was all going to go off. Now, everything in that ending, I'm going to be talking about everything in that ending now. So, as we all know, we all die. We get burned alive, pretty much, just to get rid of all of the animatronics. They are all dead now, which I don't think Springtrap, or Michael Afton, as he's now called, is actually dead, because for God's sake, he survived a goddamn flippin' fire thing in FNAF 3 and came back anyway, so it doesn't even matter anymore. But yeah, we pretty much all burn alive. But the person who is talking to us, there's been a recurring person throughout the whole of FNAF that has been a problem. Has been someone who has been a problem for the whole entire thing, because no one actually knew who he was. I don't even think I know who he was, and I don't even know his full story. But I think that is probably Henry, because apart from the character that you're playing as, and also the purple guy, Henry's the only other person who's been mentioned that has been constantly involved with the FNAF series. I would give a whole bunch of examples, but I don't think that you guys would believe me with them, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I think it's Henry. I think it is. I don't know why, but I think it is. But my brain is set like that, and until I see MatPat's theory that says, no, it turns out the purple guy never died, and it was actually Springtrap talking to you, and Springtrap is secretly Mario dressed up as Princess Peach. I don't know. Anyway, so now that we've gotten rid of that, the secrets are not in the lost one. The person who is talking to you is definitely a secret on who that is, but he doesn't matter nearly as much as everything else that's hidden in the goddamn story. So, what we are now going to be jumping into is one of the multiple endings. There are 4 different endings. There's the you suck ending, which is pretty much you being lazy and not bringing all the animatronics in. The you bringing all the animatronics in. The you get sent to jail because you goddamn have too many lawsuits, boy. Or the secrets ending, which I'm going to be covering the secret ending, because the certificate that you get if you go down that ending is you get a certificate for insanity, so then no one will believe what you just saw. And what you actually see is if you hold down the power button when you're doing your night, it actually comes up with a whole bunch of blueprints for Lefty, a black bear that you can buy for $5 near the end of the game. Lefty is not, but that's the thing. You can buy Lefty and he'll already be in the pizzeria, and a sign will, and when you're going to get a new animatronic to get the salvage, it has a sign saying, I'm already here, or something along those lines. I'll put a picture of it up. But that's the thing. If you don't buy him, all of a sudden Lefty's sitting there. Then if you actually get the salvage for Lefty, then a bunch of images of all the animatronics in the back alley deactivated start coming up on screen. So Lefty actually plays a massive part, because the blueprints talk and show diagrams of hollow capturement. And what I mean by that is that it looks like Lefty was designed to capture something. He's hollow, but he also has enough robotics in him in order to move around and do what he needs to do. And what I think is that he was actually designed to capture the puppet. Now, the reason why, it's because if you look at diagrams of Lefty during jump scares and actual diagrams of his full scale, you can actually see tiny little parts of the puppet in him if you actually look very close to him, mostly around his arm area. But that's the thing. Then raises the question, how is the puppet still alive? Because if you guys remember in the good ending of FNAF 3, it showed that Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy, and the puppet all went off to the afterlife. they're gone. They're not there anymore because they finally got their revenge on Springtrap. So how is the puppet still here? How is the puppet still a thing? And that's the thing. There's also other secrets that tell you why the puppet's still a thing. So I'll come back to this section about Lefty after I explain that. Actually, I'll explain it right now. So, in a couple secret mini games that you can do, it actually shows that you can play as the puppet. And what the mini game is it's like search for your child. So you're looking for a child with a green wristband thing. So you see a bunch of children going by, all of them with blue and all that. And after a while, all of a sudden, you're trapped in your box. You can't get out of the box. And you see the girl with the green band outside the pizzeria. Then all of a sudden, the puppet goes to go to the girl, and the girl is dead. She is, like, out cold. Then the puppet just lays on top of her, and then that's it. That's the end. What I think is that girl is actually Henry's daughter. If the person on the phone at the end of the good ending is Henry's daughter, is Henry, then that must be his daughter, because he says, and my daughter, I knew you would not go away. Not my daughter. You're always one to look after anybody and whoever, I don't care. So that was Henry's daughter. And according to Henry's description and how he's talking, he knew that his daughter was not dead. And from her personality of how he's talking, it seems like it seems like she never actually went to the afterlife. Instead, she decided to stay behind in order to help children who all of a sudden get killed like this. She stayed behind, so then if this tragedy ever happened again, she would be able to help those children like she helped Freddy and co. So she stayed behind. But the problem was, I think Henry designed Lefty to imprison the puppet. So then he could forcefully send her off to the afterlife. Now that we've covered that massive secret, I don't think that's actually a secret because, again, Five Nights at Freddy's 6 has been out for so long now, so I don't know if you guys have already covered the whole lore, and if Scott Cawthon has basically cleared up everything. There's already, the FNAF VR game has come out, and there are still secrets in that are still talking about the main lore. So, yeah, I have to kind of be careful what I say, because in the comments you guys are going to tell me, no, you're wrong! Okay. So now we're going on to the arcade games. So, first of all, I'm going to do the arcade game where I actually found the secret in a video, which is the racing car one. So, if you go down to the bottom of the screen as you're race car driving, and you're on the 4th lap, there is actually a part of the wall that is missing. If you go down into that wall, all of a sudden you go down into this minigame where you're playing as a dude who is just heading home in the middle of the night raining with a purple car, who is also Yellow Guy. They had to add in another guy, did they? But yeah, if you go to the left before heading downwards, you go to a place called Juniors. And the person there stops you from going in, saying, come on, dude, you know that you're not supposed to be here. Don't make this any harder on yourself. Now we're going to leave FNAF 6 and go back to FNAF 2. Now, in FNAF 2, if you go to night 5, they're saying that they are closing down. Like, they're not opening... Well, they're not closing down, but they're moving you to the day shift. And old employees are not allowed back in to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. So, now if we go to FNAF 4, if you are in Fredbear's Diner, you run away from Fredbear at the entrance, and then you go back. The doors are open, and you see the purple guy standing there putting someone in the spring lock suit. Then the doors close. So that proves that purple guy was working with the Fredbear's Diner, which means it would make sense for him to continue that career in order to continue his murderous rampage. So after that, you would expect that because he was an old employee, he would not be allowed back in Freddy Fazbear's 2. So I think that timeline, I think that is actually the purple guy. I think that the yellow guy is actually the purple guy, and he's not allowed back in because he was an old employee. So then he has to go home, which I've already determined that house that he goes to is the house from FNAF 4. It is. It has to be. The old dude who's sitting in front of the TV. Through a lot of listening and going back to play Sister Location, I think that the old guy who's sitting in front of the TV is actually Michael Afton. Oh no, wait a minute. Fudge. Who's the dude that you play as in Sister Location? He's one of the Aftons. I think Purple Guy's dad. Which you can see at the end of Sister Location. Springtrap actually says, "But I'm broken. I'm going to come and find you." So he's going to look for his dad after whatever happened in FNAF 3. So that is actually Mr. Affin's son. So then he goes to his purple guy's son's door and says, "Open up, you're not allowed to lock this door." And then realizes that his son left to go somewhere to his special place. Which if you listen to more dialogue from other FNAF games, it said that that son actually... Oh, wait a minute. No, it was actually in the FNAF books that actually said that this boy really enjoyed the carousel in FNAF 2. So it would make sense that the boy actually went to the FNAF 2 building because that would be his happy place. The purple guy saying he went back to that place again would most likely be representative of his son going back to the carousel in Juniors. Then he says he'll be sorry when he comes back. That's because I'm about to throw everything out the window right now. I am about to throw everything you knew about FNAF 4 out the window, and it's going to go into the garbage truck, ready to be crushed and disintegrated and never thought of again. Because I think... God, I hope that MatPat didn't actually come up with this. I'll sound really stupid if MatPat already came up with this and I'm coming up with stuff that he's already came up with. I swear, this is my own thoughts. I swear. Now I'm scared. I want to watch MatPat's videos now because I'm scared that I'm saying everything that he's already said. But, yeah, I think that what happened in FNAF 4 with all of the nightmares, and the fact that you're in hospital after the events of the Bite of 83, I don't think that you're actually in a hospital. I think that those are actually illusions made by the purple guy to keep his son in his house. I think that's... Okay, think of it this way. If Mr. Afton is Purple Guy's father, and Purple Guy said, "I fixed them," meaning during the events of Sister Location, during the last cutscene in the Custom Nights, he said, "I went and I fixed her," it would be safe to assume that who he's talking about is his sister. So Baby is Purple Guy's sister, which I am going to determine, and until proven otherwise, that's just canon now. So it would make sense that Purple Guy's sister didn't make it and died. Purple Guy's sister is the girl who, because remember, Mr. Afton made Baby, and the little daughter at the beginning of every night constantly kept on saying, "But Daddy, why can't I go and play with her?" Meaning that it has to be. There's no possible way that I couldn't be. And she got scooped by Baby, which I've already assumed that is the bite of 87. So after that, Purple Guy went there. He determined stuff and things. Then he said, "I'm going to come and find you," which is his father talking. So he has already witnessed that his sister has been killed. So he wanted to save and keep safe his only son, so then that never happens again. How would you do that? By scaring him, by making him think that instead of these things being fun and thinking what his sister thought, make his son think that these are scary monsters and you should not go anywhere near them. So he creates illusions of these animatronics to keep his son in his house. And eventually, that backfired because he went to Fredbear and got the bite of 83'd. So, yeah, I think that house is the house of the Aftons. Hopefully I'm correct about that, and hopefully I'm not just repeating what MatPat said. I'm doing this a lot worse today. I did theories way better when I was doing it with sister location. I am out of practice right now. But anyway, so another secret that I actually have to determine. So next arcade game that we're going into the Fruit Maze. The one that I spent ages trying to find the secret and trying to complete, but couldn't because, god damn it took way too much skill just to get halfway through the thing. I got really annoyed with it. But anyway, the girl that keeps on flashing there, I actually looked through the whole game and watched someone complete the whole thing. I saw all of the hidden messages, and every single time that you complete a level and go back and replay it, the girl gets more and more sad. Then there's more and more yellow bunnies that appear throughout the whole entire thing. Then all of a sudden you see red stains everywhere as she gets more and more sad. More and more things start popping up, which it actually shows a dead dog. Then all of a sudden, in the last one, it shows her in tears, with a yellow bunny behind her, which absolutely terrified me. I was not ready for that. I did not expect that to happen. But anyway, he says, he's not really dead. He's alive. Let me show you. And then, presumably, that's the Purple Guy luring her, so then he can create another animatronic, and I'm guessing that that's either Chica or whoever, what's going on. I think that the dog that he was talking about is Mangle, because if you look at all of the audio cues from each and every character, Mangle is the only animatronic that does not actually have a voice. It's all static and gurgles and all that. So it makes sense that Purple Guy used that dog to test to see if souls can actually be put into animatronics, because it would make sense that off the Sis location, when he has seen that he can get scooped and not die, fudge. Look, I've spent ages trying to come up with this theory, and now that I'm saying it out loud, it's not even making any sense to me. But the problem is, I spent so long working on this that I thought that this would be way easier than what it actually is being, because if he's testing out to see if souls can actually be put into animatronics, how did he come up with the idea in the first place, you might be asking. But it's the thing that makes the most amount of sense, because who else would he be talking about if he's telling that girl he's not really dead. He's alive. Let me show you. Who else would he be talking about when there's dogs literally popping up in the game that she's playing? It doesn't... Look, this is really hard, so I'm just going to leave it at here. I think that her dog is actually Mangle. I'm just going to leave it at there. And hopefully hopefully there are some more secrets in Ultimate Custom Night that I can come up with to see if I can come up with the answers for that. But right now, we have to continue, because seriously, I'm spending way too long on this. So, there are other secrets that are placed in here, placed in the Candy Cadet voice lines. If you go to Candy Cadet and you play his game, he gives you candy and then he tells you stories about massive, horrifying events. One of them, which really caught my eye and I really studied into, was about a girl who was in a building that was going to be destroyed. She was going to get killed, basically. She had 6 keys to escape. Well, she had 5 keys, so then she could escape. Each key opens up one door that holds one child in it. And also allows her to unlock the exit door and escape. So she had to choose one child to save and then escape. But what she decided to do was meld the keys together to try and open up all the doors at once. But unfortunately, logic doesn't work like that. So instead of saving one life and escaping, she basically condemned herself to death with all the other children. So that caught my eye very quickly, because I was thinking, this is way too specific to just be a metaphor. So, considering that I've already determined that the marionette is still alive, but let's just go back to when Freddy and all that were around. I'm thinking she was the one who gave Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy the gift of coming back from death. So, I'm thinking that this story was actually talking about her and the kids she saved. But the only problem is I don't think that she actually saved them. Because I've seen the screenshots for Ultimate Custom Night. I actually have a few theories about Ultimate Custom Night, which I will explain now, and then I'll back them up when I play Ultimate Custom Night. I don't think that Ultimate Custom Night is just a game. I think it's more like hell for whoever is versing the animatronics. Because, as we can see, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Balloon Boy, every single animatronic is there in that place. They're not in heaven. They're not, like, they haven't moved on. They're still there. So, what I think is that instead of her saving the children and bringing them back so then they can get revenge, instead of doing that and giving them satisfaction with themselves, she actually condemned them to tormenting the person who has killed them for all eternity and never moving on. So basically, instead of them going to heaven and enjoying the rest of their life, they're staying in hell and tormenting their killer for the rest of eternity. I think that the person that you play as in Ultimate Custom Night is Purple Guy, by the way. I should have said that first. But yeah, I think that that's what Candy Cadet's story was based on. I hope that